and the Newark Star Ledger on January 12, 2023. Said notice was posted in the municipal building as required by law. In addition, a copy of this notice has been made available to the public and is on file in the office of the Borough Clerk. All contracts awarded by Mayor and Council must comply with the affirmative action requirements of PL 1975, C127. Fire exits are located in the directions I'm indicating. If you are alerted for fire, please move in a calm, orderly manner to the nearest smoke-free exit. Proper notice having been given, the Borough Clerk is directed to include this statement in the minutes of the meeting. Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Here.
Councilman Johnson.
Present.
Councilman Signorello.
Here.
Councilman Robina.
Here.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Here.
Councilman Patel.
Here.
Mayor Signorello.
Here.
All present, Mayor.
Andrew, please lead us in the opening prayer, followed by a pledge of allegiance.
Eternal God, grant us thy help in all our duties and perplexities. We ask for thy guidance. Give us thy protection in our dangers and sorrows. Grant us thy peace. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. There are no communications for consideration this evening. May I have a motion to move out of order and consider resolutions number 126, 23, and 127-23?
So move.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Call. All in favor?
Aye.
Andrew, please read resolutions 126-23 and 127-23 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Resolution 12623 is promoting Sergeant Robert Harms to the rank of Lieutenant of the Roselle Park Police Department, and Resolution 12723 is promoting Patrolman Brian Swick to the rank of Sergeant of the Roselle Park Police Department.
Is there any discussion?
Yes, real
Need a
quick.
motion.
Oh, do you have
Motion to adopt.
a motion to adopt?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
No.
No?
Is there any
Is there any discussion? I'm normally a little bit better at this. I'm so nervous because of Swick. It's my friend. It's making me blush. Sorry, pal. Where am I now?
Councilman at large.
So I'd just like to congratulate the two new soon-to-be sworn-in officers. It's nice to see two Roselle Park graduates, two wrestlers that wrestled for Coach Ranieri's in the room tonight. And I will tell you one little story. I remember bringing the mayor over to Brian's dad's house to color eggs way back when. So it's nice to see a play date. It's nice to see two successful candidates from the ranks come up and get promoted. Godspeed to you all. That's all I have to say.
Just remember Brian kicking my ass in wrestling. Is really all I remember. It sucks. Any further discussion?
I would like to say
Yeah.
something. Definitely congratulations to both of you for soon to be Lieutenant Harms. I'll never forget. He helped me in my worst time. I could cry. I'm sorry, I cry. My dad was really sick, and he came to my house, and he was the one that was able to help him in his last moment. So I will forever be grateful. And I say that because in a small hometown, to have amazing police officers and amazing police department is so important, and so I appreciate all you guys. So thank you so much.
Any further discussion? Please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Robina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The resolutions are adopted. The oath first.
Yeah, okay.
Arms first. Oaths are up there.
Chief, you want to come up and join me? Arms?
Family.
I'm working on it. Take it easy. I'll make it out all right. I'm doing all right. Congratulations.
His direction.
Come on, guys. Good Bible? Yeah.
Mason, just in time, Mason.
Who's holding the Bible? Perfect. Okay. You guys want to?
Oh, I didn't put the tack down.
Here we go. Okay. Repeat after me. I, Robert Harms, do solemnly swear that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, and that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the governments established in the United States and in this state under the authority of the people. I do further solemnly swear that I will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all the duties of Police Lieutenant of the Borough of Roselle Park according to the best of my ability. So help me God. Oh yeah, we can do a picture first. That's okay. Let me just get this out of the way real quick.
Good evening, everyone. Congratulations, Robert, on a well-deserved promotion. I just want to read a quick bio of the career path that Lieutenant Harms had taken since he's been with us in the Roselle Park Police. 2019, Patrolman Harms was promoted to the rank of sergeant, where he was assigned to the Patrol Night Division as a first-line supervisor. Lieutenant Harms has received numerous awards and accommodations to include, in 2011, the Mother Against Drunk Driving Award, 2017, the Life Saving Award, 2018, the Exceptional Service Award, 2019, the Valor Award recipient from the Union County 200 Club, where he and the fire chief back there pulled out a individual who was in a burning car on it was West Lincoln, and saved that gentleman from perishing in that fire for sure. He did an outstanding job. I want to take this time to congratulate Lieutenant Harms on his well-deserved promotion, and I know he will continue to do a good job, and I look forward to working with him in his new position. Thank you.
I just first want to thank my family for always being there and having my back. I want to thank Mayor and Council, Chief Freno, for giving me this opportunity. I want to thank everybody that came here tonight, for showing their support. Congratulations, Sergeant Swick. I'm sure you'll do a great job. I'll continue to do the best that I can for this department and for this town in my new position. Thank you.
What kind of signature you got?
Congratulations.
What kind of signature is this? Like a congratulations. Congratulations. Let's go.
Aw, look how cute. Hi. She keeps saying hi.
Okay. Ready to go, Brian? Repeat after me. I, Brian Swick,
I, Brian Swick,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution
that I'll support the Constitution
of the United States
of the United States
and the Constitution
and the Constitution
of the State of New Jersey,
of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith and allegiance
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established
and to the governments established
in the United States
in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
I do further solemnly swear
I do further solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all of the duties of
all of the duties of
Police Sergeant
Police Sergeant
of the Borough of Roselle Park
of the Borough of Roselle Park
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my abilities.
Hi! So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations. Stay there.
Sergeant Swick. Sergeant Swick is a Roselle Park graduate, high school graduate. In 2008, Brian Swick was hired by the Union County Sheriff's Office, where he attended John A. Stamler Police Academy, graduating from class number 99. In July of 2012, Brian Swick was hired by the Roselle Park Police Department and was assigned to the Patrol Division. In 2017, Patrolman Brian Swick was assigned to the Community Policing Unit. In 2019, Patrolman Swick was assigned to the Patrol Division as a corporal. In 2022, Corporal Swick was assigned to the Detective Bureau and worked in the Juvenile Bureau as an acting detective. During that time, from 2019 to 2022, Sergeant Swick was assigned to the Union County Emergency Response Team. Sergeant Swick is currently a lead bicycle school instructor at the John A. Stamler Police Academy. Sergeant Brian Swick has received numerous awards and commendations, to include 1 honorable mention, 2 life-saving awards, and a commendation from the Union County Prosecutor's Office for assisting and operating Helping Hand. I want to congratulate Sergeant Swick on his well-deserved promotion. I know he will do a very good job as a supervisor. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mayor and Council and Chief Freno. I am deeply honored and grateful to have been promoted to the rank of Sergeant. This is an incredible milestone in my career, and I owe it all to the support and encouragement of those around me. I would like to thank my commanding officers and superiors, both past and present, for believing in me. Your guidance and leadership have been invaluable to me. I look forward to continue to learn from you in my new role, as well as mentoring our young officers. I also want to express my sincere gratitude to my fellow officers. Your hard work and dedication have been an inspiration to me, and I'm proud to work alongside such talented and committed professionals. To my family and loved ones, especially my wife, Livy, who without her I would not be standing here today. Your love and encouragement have been instrumental in helping me achieve this promotion. I am grateful for your continued support. Mom, thank you for always being there for me and helping me become the man I am today. I also would like to thank my dad for being a role model as an incredible police officer and an even better father. Finally, I want to thank the community we serve. It's an honor to continue to protect and serve the town where I was born and raised. I am committed to continue to serve our community to the best of my ability. Once again, thank you to everyone who has helped me throughout my career. I am excited to take on new challenges and responsibilities in my role as Sergeant, and I look forward to continue to serve with pride, honor, and dedication. Thank you.
So just before we do a quick pause, did you? Okay, cool. Just before we take a pause, we're doing for the first time this year. We're announcing Councilwoman Lyons is. Do you want to come up? Yeah. We have the first annual Roselle Park Woman of the Year, which Councilwoman Lyons is going to dedicate, and then we'll take a quick break, and you guys can take photos.
Hi, everybody. So we started Women Inspiring Women this year, and we had a dinner in March. And so look for posts and things, because I would love for everyone to come out. We have comedy shows coming. We have a couple things lined up, and we're going to have some fun this year. But I did ask the mayor and council if we could do a Woman of the Year. And instead of doing it in March, we're doing it in May. Sorry, oh my God, I'm nervous. But I just wanted to bring this woman up. This woman is courageous. She's committed really to everything that she does. She's caring, she's consistent, she's constant. I've gotten to know her personally in the last 2 years. She is an amazing woman. She's a mom of 2. She became a widow 2 years ago, or a year and a half ago. She is a sister. She is truly remarkable. And when I think of her, I honestly think of the word love. And it comes to mind, hold on. Love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast, it is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. Always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. and this is her. And love never fails. That's from 1 Corinthians. So I just want to honor her tonight, and we have some flowers. We have a donated gift card for her, and please welcome Miriam Cepedes.
Say a couple words, Miriam?
Yes. Good evening to everybody here. Thank you, Council. Thank you, Rosanna. Thank you, Mayor. I don't have no words to say it, but thank you so much. Only I can tell you, just never stop. Keep doing every single day, because, I got 2 kids, and women all the time have to try to do the best you can. Never stop. In your way, you have to find out too many things, but you have to be understand. End of the tunnel is the light. No matter what happened, you always keep going. Thank you so much. I don't have no more words to you guys. Be strong as a woman, and we can do this.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Miriam, could we just take a quick picture real quick?
Yes.
That looked cool. Got it? Perfect. Okay, cool. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Cool. So we'll just take a short recess for everybody to clear out. May I have a motion to go into recess?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
If you guys want to use the stage for photos or anything like that, you want a picture with me, Lauren? Just me and you? All right, good.
Twins.
Double dragon right there. Oh, listen, this is the OG dragon.
Thank you. Okay, so we have a couple proclamations. I just want to announce a couple of these. First is Mental Health Awareness Month. Whereas mental health is a part of overall health that helps sustain an individual's thought, process, relationships, productivity, and ability to adapt, change, and face adversity, and whereas mental health challenges adversely affect those abilities and is often life-threatening in nature, and whereas 1 in 4 people experience mental illness problems in any given year, and such problems can contribute to the onset of mental illness, and whereas approximately 1/2 of chronic mental illnesses begin by the age of 14 and 3/4 by 24, and early identification and treatment can make a profound difference in the successful management of mental illness, and recovery is possible with the help and early detection through many local affiliate support and groups for teens, adults, and families, and whereas it is important to maintain good mental health practices and learn the symptoms of mental health challenges, and whereas public education and civic activities can encourage mental health and help improve the lives of individuals and families affected by mental illness. Therefore, be it proclaimed that I, Mayor Joseph Signorello III, Mayor of Roselle Park in the County of Union, in the state of New Jersey, do hereby name May 2023 as Mental Health Awareness Month in the borough of Roselle Park, and I encourage all citizens to increase their understandings of the importance of mental health and stigma-free treatment of mental health challenges. I just want to say, Surgeon General talked about the profound impact of loneliness on folks. I think it's important to make sure you get out there, be social, and check in on friends. And it's never, it's always okay to reach out for help when you're looking for it. And the state of New Jersey, we are lucky to live in a state that offers a myriad of support. And in the County Union, there's a lot of support as well. So don't be shy to reach out for help if you need it. And I thought it was important to discuss that. A couple other ones I want to. Jay, do you want to plug, you have a lot of bike initiatives. I'm not going to read the whole, it's Bike Month. We're going to proclaim it Bike Month. I'm going to talk it over to Jay. I'm surprising him. Do you want to talk about some of the things that you've done? Do you want to just move this one up if you want, if you don't mind? Just talk about your little bike portion? I'm sorry, I didn't mean to demean your bike portion. I'm sure it's a very impressive bike portion.
I'd like to say thank you for its proclamation.
Your mic's off.
Well, Mayor, I'd like to say thank you for this proclamation. This goes above it being Bike Month. It's also regarding health and safety. It's about changing your lifestyle. It's trying to find alternative ways to travel. I'm looking forward to May 20th. It's the bike helmet giveaway, the Tour de Roselle Park, the safety clinic, and it's a tremendous opportunity for our children and young adults to really learn how to safely travel in our municipality. So I'll have a little bit more in the report,
Yeah.
but thanks so much.
Yeah, Jay's been a champion of this, so thank you for your continuing efforts there, Jay.
Go Rails Trails.
And, it's Elks Youth Week, so the Elks unfortunately couldn't be here, but we want to make sure that people recognize that the Elks have been serving this community and helping out around Union County and the greater Union County area, so we're very appreciative of their efforts. Okay, may I have a motion that bills and payrolls be not read and passed for payment?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to open the public portion on agenda items only?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
If you'd like to come up and speak, please come forward to the microphone and state your name and address for the record. I am seeing no one. May I have a motion to close the public portion on agenda items only?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Andrew, you want to start us off?
Sure, Mayor. Thank you. So just want to mention a couple of things. I covered a lot of ground last time, but from the clerk's office side of things and the election that's coming up on June 6th. June 6th, sorry. We do have the deadline for voter registration that's coming up on Tuesday, May 16th. Residents who are not registered to vote can do so online now, the Secretary of State's website, but you can also do it in person. My office and the clerk's office will be open until 8 p.m. that evening. If you'd like to register in person and you would rather not register online, we're certainly happy to do that and facilitate that. That'll be transmitted directly to the Board of Elections the following day. A couple of highlights. I know we have a lot on the agenda in terms of the budget and the capital budget. A couple of just high-level notes. I'm sure there'll be discussion later. The County of Union did award Borough of Roselle Park a $63,000 infrastructure grant, which will go toward offsetting costs associated with road and pedestrian positive thing. And on the capital budget side, again, we have again, fairly robust road program, along with a couple of other items that we'll touch on later, I'm sure. Something that I'm particularly proud of with this budget, and something to commend the governing body on, is this actually does pay off about $250,000 worth of the borough debt. So although we're doing these programs, we acquired about $800,000 in grants, a little south of that, to offset the cost of this year's budget. And that type of strategic planning leads to a reduction in the overall debt of the municipality, which is a positive thing while you're still able to get things done. But again, I'm sure there'll be further discussion about the agenda items, Mayor, so I'll defer to that. And that concludes my report.
Yeah, just one thing I want to piggyback is we've been talking about getting a grant writer for the longest time. We actually hired our first grant writer last year. Was it last year we brought in the Aubrey Group? And we're starting to see the fruits of the labor. So I know we've had a couple of people on council look to advocate for that. We're a small municipality. We're not going to win on everything, but they've gotten us a couple bucks here, a couple bucks there, and it really starts to add up. So it's great. I just want to I'm going to go a little bit out of order. Chief, do you want to come up and do your report real quick? I'm sure you're itching to get to some of the celebrations. You look very, just like
Sharp.
Yeah, sharp tonight, man. Yeah. That's why I want to get you out of here.
Struggle is real.
So good evening, everyone.
Tom, just turn your mic on. Just press that button. Is it red?
Yeah, you gotta like hold it. I hate these buttons.
Was read already.
Okay.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Good evening.
So I know I had submitted my report a little later than I should have, but I think you all were able to receive it. I'm going to go over a couple of different items that are on that report real quick. There was a couple requests in for traffic studies within the borough. So I was able to help Councilman Johnson on his endeavor on the 100 block of Bender Avenue, which we were able to get that successfully done. And also Councilman Patel, 400 block of Amsterdam. Same, we got that traffic study back as well. I'd like to sit down with you guys and go over the traffic study a little bit. I know we're going to meet tomorrow at 11 to go over yours. If you have some questions on your piece, we could talk about it too, how we're going to mitigate some of the speeding that we have on those blocks.
I was actually, Chief, going to reach out to you later about that, so we could hook up and connect with
I
that.
think that's the best way, just
Absolutely.
touch base offline and talk about it.
Thank you.
Hey, Chief, just real quick, because they're new to me. I actually never paid attention to them before these last ones, or I might have not got sent to me, to be honest with you. Are they out of the ordinary from what you saw?
So they're not.
Okay,
Not out
interesting.
of the ordinary. The percentages of individuals that were actually speeding
In line with the norms?
was low
Yeah, okay.
and adequate for you expect to see on those blocks. I mean, listen, you're going to get some stop sign violations here and there.
Yeah.
You're going to get some speeders here and there.
Yeah.
I mean, the best way, to mitigate that sometimes is, individuals that see people speeding, they could grab a license plate, or they could report it to the police and call our general non-emergency line. We'll get some officers over there trying to get a description of a car and try to, mitigate it that way.
Yep.
I know that Andrew and Ken have been instrumental in trying to get us some radar machines, portable radar machines. We were able to find some appropriated funds from last year that we didn't use for that. So we were actually purchasing now 2 of these radar machines. They're portable ones, kind of like the white one that you guys seen in the past, but not as bulky. It's a little bit smaller.
Yep.
It's run on solar. It actually has a cloud storage, so I actually have some data that's produced out of there, and it runs off an iPad or iPhone. So it'd be helpful to us to do some of the stuff that we're asking the county to do as these traffic plans, where we can see if someone is actually speeding or not, and time of day and that kind of thing will help us focus our efforts, doing some radar or whatever on those specific times or days. So that'll be helpful to us. So I appreciate, Ken, thank you, and Andrew, thank you for helping assist with that. That's pretty much all I got. I want to congratulate Lieutenant Mike Wilgus on his well-deserved retirement, and I appreciate all of you on the timely promotions that we've done thus far to keep our staff adequate so that we can safely respond to calls in Roselle Park and help the residents out the best we can.
Sounds good, Chief. Any questions?
Oh, I was just going to say congratulations, and I was going to mention this in my report. So I just wanted to tell you while you was here, thank you for your for assisting me with that project. And later on, we'll have discussions analyzing the findings and maybe set a few goals and objectives. So I look forward to that, Chief. Thank you.
Absolutely, my pleasure. And Councilman Lyons, Councilwoman Lyons, I had received your email today
Oh, yes.
for East Webster, and we'll be taking a look at that with traffic safety and see how we're going to try to mitigate that and see what is happening over on that street for you.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank
Cool.
you so much.
Keep up the good work, Chief.
Thank you.
Yep.
Have a great night.
You too. Ken, did you have anything? Or I mean, we're introducing the budget tonight. Do you want to just talk then, or you got anything interesting?
Just real quick, sorry.
Yep.
Just a friendly reminder, second quarter tax bills are due. You have until May 10th to pay without interest. And we'll talk about the budget with the resolution, or you want to?
We'll do it with the resolution.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you, Kenneth. Rich.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
So this is my report for April. So it's the construction code report that I typically do each month. So we're moving along quite nicely. For the month of April, we had 160 permits in total. Total revenue for through the end of April is $526,063. COA development fees, we're starting to collect on the COA development fees because we're starting to get some closeouts. Small, but we're going to get there this year. It's $2,140, and the number of uniform construction code violations for the month of April was 12. On the property maintenance side, we've really turned it up for several reasons, and obviously you've been around town and you can see why. So we had 10 court dispositions with total fines of $9,219, 25 violations were issued, and 25 court summonses were issued. As far as the projects go, as you can see, they're moving along quite nicely. I was actually at the Hunter project today for most of the morning. So they're moving quite nicely. I'm very happy with their contractors and their subcontractors. The job is very clean, being done very professionally. So I want to thank Mr. Hunter and his partner because they brought on actual tradespeople that are real tradespeople. And that's a pleasure for me because I am a union bricklayer by trade, along with my 3 college degrees. Nevertheless, 240 and 250, which again, we're still waiting on the tenant fit outs for downstairs. I know we went back and forth for the last 18 months on the restaurant or no restaurant use. So currently, there is no tenant that I was told about that is looking to do a fit out at that space. 10 West, I did receive plans last week for the first floors of A building and B building. Ran into a little bit of a problem. I actually called their counsel, Dennis Leoya from Capadaglia. 2 of the uses are not principal permitted uses based upon the redevelopment plan. So he's fully aware of that. He may reach out to Fran to speak to her about it. One was an urgent care, which I remember that discussion quite vividly. During the whole process, the redevelopment process, that was not envisioned by the governing body as a principal permitted use. The principal permitted uses are those uses within the B2 zone or central business district zone. There's a second use, which is an appurtenance to the apartment use, which is a game room, not open to the public, just strictly for the tenants. It's in prime retail space in the front. So again, I reiterated the fact that that is not a principal permitted use, and I basically explained to counsel for the developer if they wish to go before the governing body and ask for an amendment to the redevelopment plan, that's their right. I said it's up to them, but as far as I'm concerned, they will not get permits for those uses.
Yeah, and Rich, I was going to talk to you offline, but I have no problem discussing this in public, and I think it's something that council should talk about, right? So I agree with you taking a hard line on, any amenity space being used. So we fought hard for 16,000 square feet of retail space, true retail space. Dennis reached out to me because they're in the prep for the second DRC they're going to be doing. and we should all talk about this collectively because it would potentially require an adjustment. So two of the tenants that are looking to potentially move in, one is an urgent care facility.
Correct.
The other one is a sort of like a lens crafters, right? So it would be, there'd be ophthalmologists, whatever it is, the eye doctors, right? So you'd be able to purchase glasses there and then get your eyes checked there, theoretically. So think lens crafters. Neither one of those uses, I think as it currently stands, are kosher, right? That's not to say that we couldn't amend should the governing body be permissive of that, right? And, you know, I would say my gut reaction is, look, 16,000 square feet of retail space is a lot to fill, right? So allowing potentially those uses there, I'm not totally opposed to, right? But it's something that would have to be considered by the council because it's codified basically in the redevelopment agreement or plan what can be used there, so.
That's correct, and that's what I explained to council.
Yeah.
That was, that's their right, that's their option.
Yeah.
Going back before the governing body, my only concern, and I just want to forewarn the governing body, that both these retail spaces are prime retail spaces, one of which is in the corner next to the courtyard.
Yeah.
It would be ideal for a food service establishment or a restaurant, which is really what I think the governing body at that time had envisioned for that space.
Yep.
Or for that project. The other item is they do have 16,900 square feet of retail currently, so they have 900 to play with on their
Sure.
side, which they actually created additional space, which they call a WeWork space, and I know, Mayor, you're very familiar with that.
Yeah.
That was originally a lobby area or a leasing area that they're now calling WeWork. So I wanted a clearer definition of what they plan on doing with that space, because that does cut into, along with the gaming space, into that 900 square feet, where now they're below 16,000 square feet.
Yeah. So I think my gut reaction to both is it's 16,000 square feet of retail space, period, no exceptions, right? And that's just codified by our zoning there now, right? I think it's worthy to potentially entertain if we feel like those are worthy uses for the space, especially like, look, the reality of the situation is good luck. You know, you can even see in more robust downtowns, retail is difficult right now when places like Westfield, places like Summit, right? Like Amazon has gobbled everything up. So the move to services is real. I am just candidly, right? If there's a lens crafters type, boutique glasses place, I have less of an allergic reaction to that because I think that's a healthy use potentially. Maybe not in the center corridor, right? The urgent care, I'm a little bit more squeamish about, but I think it's worth an open discussion about whether or not the council wants to entertain it. Is my
Of course.
Yeah.
It's, your call.
Yep.
The only other question I can give the governing body is we currently have an urgent care that, as you know,
on Chestnut Street, which is also why I'm
actually there today.
which is also why I'm squeamish about it. Yeah. Received. Yep.
All right, so basically, that pretty much concludes the report, except for the fact that we will be meeting next week, as the mayor alluded to, with the Development Review Committee. That'll be our second meeting for Capadaglia for the additional 3 stories in the parking deck for amended site plan.
Yeah, I would actually, I would encourage, if it's relevant to the councilwoman, as it's a third ward thing, and it's relevant to the councilman at large. So quite frankly, it's one less conversation I have to have with you guys, right? So if you can make it, I think it's worthy to go there, right, and check it out, because they will be having, I think they're going to bring up some of that retail space issues, right? And you guys can see it for yourself.
Well, we were going to have a discussion about it, but it was going to be after their formal
Got it.
presentation.
Pitch. Yeah, it might be worth you guys sitting in on that if you can.
Yeah, just keep in mind, too, Development Review Committee meetings are open public meetings. That's why the clerk has advertised them and posted them accordingly.
Yep.
So anyone from the public can come to those meetings. The thing is, we generally don't accept questions from the public because we don't want to be construed as a planning board or zoning board. Those questions, the public really needs to go to the board hearings. And then they, of course, express their concerns there.
Okay.
Not before the DRC, because we're strictly a technical review committee.
Mayor, if I could just supplement Rich for a second and supplement the DRC note. I think it's very valuable from of criticism, for lack of, I mean.
It's healthy.
It was a
Yeah.
very healthy back and forth with the developer about what their plans were and how they meet the expectations of the municipality, which is why we brought them back again for a second meeting to clarify those things, give them an opportunity to sharpen the pencil and come back to us with something that was more acceptable to the professionals in the room, and they're doing that. But again, it was an hour long of how the sausage is made at the Borough of Roselle Park, for lack of a better word. I actually, as somebody at the table making recommendations, found it very valuable. And I just wanted to make that known as it's a very valuable part of the process.
Cool.
Okay.
Any questions for Rich?
Any other questions?
Yeah, Rich, thank you for addressing, or you're in a starting mode of addressing the situation on Lincoln and Chestnut. It's just, it's getting an uptick on people making the wrong turn on that. And I just wanted to say about the DRC, as a former fire chief, as a taxpayer, I think it's the best thing you guys have done with this. It really helps control a project and slow the project down and see what's right for the borough. So commend how long the DRC's been going on. It's a good thing for the borough.
Yeah, we established it, Councilman, in 2016, if you remember, when I was here part-time. But I want to also thank the governing body, past and present, for supporting it.
Yeah.
Because the process is so much cleaner when you establish a development and review committee. And I've been in this business now 30 years, so it's kind of aging myself a little bit.
So, thank you.
But it really does help the process. It helps the developer and it helps the community.
Yep.
And it is transparent, and that's what's nice of it.
Rich, I have a question for you. Let me turn on the mic. So does that mean 240, 250 Westfield will still operate on a TCO until property's filled?
I actually don't understand why that is.
Because generally, and that's my call.
Yeah.
That's,
No, you have
under
the
my
discretion on it, but
authority. I have discretion on
we've
it.
gone back and forth about this. I mean, the way I read, I kind of don't care to an extent, right? Like, but the way I understood it, and actually, Fran, I don't know if you want to come while we have you here. You know, that one, if memory serves, doesn't really call for. It doesn't call for it to be filled. It calls for that space to exist, but it doesn't call for it to be filled. And I'd love for it to be filled, right? But I don't want to be punitive where we're being unnecessarily punitive.
Mayor, Fran McManaman, Scotland and Bauman Redevelopment Council of the Borough. You're correct. The agreement required there be a certain amount of retail space, and there was discussion back and forth about whether it was required to be a restaurant. It is not required to be a restaurant, and within the redevelopment agreement, there is no specific provision as far as filling the space.
Yeah. So we could take it offline, but look, I want it to be filled in the worst way too, but I also don't want to get our hand caught in.
No, your hand won't be caught because it's my jurisdiction under Title V, and
You sound very important when you say that, Rich.
I'm very.
What is this Title V? Sounds dangerous.
I'm very aggressive with developers because I
like
hold
that
their
talk.
feet to the fire. And in this case, I need to. And not only that, we still do have some outstanding engineering issues there.
Noted.
So that's the reason why the TCO is.
Okay.
And Rich, part two to that question, whatever happened to the Cap's Diner restaurant concept that they had in Hackensack and Linden that they were looking at?
So I can hit that. So that's still on the table.
Okay.
So the two proposed uses one of them would take up about 4,000 square feet. The other one would take up another 3,000 to 4,000, right? Which still leaves another whole half for what they still intend to be a restaurant. So they're still very committed to that clause. Last communication from me, or the last communication that I've gotten, which is a week ago. They've worked with. I should let them do the talking because the last thing I want to do is be a mouthpiece for a developer. But they have had a couple false starts because of the pandemic and because of, just quite frankly, failed efforts in other locations. So their first Cap's Diner was in Hackensack. Mm-hmm. They launched it during the pandemic, which did not work out. The second sort of catering firm that they had there, I guess for business reason, didn't work out. They're looking for a third one, which would potentially, instead of starting in Hackensack, they would start in Roselle Park, but they're still very committed to a restaurant being there, whether it's Cap's Diner or whatever,
Okay.
TGI Fridays, who knows, right? So that's still very much on the table.
Good to hear.
Because they have the liquor, well, they have the liquor license at the other place.
I don't know if they were going to transfer to.
They want to, which I'd be amenable to theoretically. It's actually probably a better location. Sorry, we're going down a rabbit hole. Any other questions?
Actually, I'm sorry. Whatever happened to that chicken and waffle place? It just like it just went dark.
They're probably, I know, they're probably 80% complete, and
They just
they
gave
just
up.
walked away from it.
Weird.
Yikes.
Walked
Yeah,
away.
they also stopped I mean, we did
they
outreach
stopped
from the
responding.
Board of Health point,
Yeah.
because they were full court press, looking for licensing, they were hitting their milestones, and I don't know if it was a funding issue or a personal
They had a
issue.
chicken and waffle sign up.
Yeah. People keep asking me, but I'm like, I'm not gonna keep calling Andrew to bother Pastor him about.
Sorry, they just stopped being responsive to us because we tried to do check-ins and, courtesy, say, hey, how's it going? Do you need something? It just stopped. So.
Anything to cover up the sign, or at least to encourage the
Yeah,
property
we
owner
can-
to open for business or open?
What we can do is
available
I'll have Judy get on that next week with the signage and then covering of the windows. Because if they're not going to operate, then they really need to try to lease the place out again.
Yep.
And being that the fit out is 80% complete, it kind of makes sense that they try to get another operator in there.
Any news with the old Mimi's, West Clay, or the?
Somebody just put up signage.
Yeah, I just signed the certificate of occupancy.
So one's for the dog, is it dog
The dog
washing?
grooming, yes,
Dog
dog
grooming?
washing and grooming.
And is there, that's the first one, there's a second one too, right? Or
I
something else?
haven't gotten, no, I haven't gotten permit applications for the second space
Okay,
yet.
got it. Yeah, but they just put up signage there.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good. Okay.
Yeah.
And garden cleaners, Westfield Ave. That's first one.
Yeah, I know, that one is,
Yeah, good
right
luck,
now,
man.
I haven't heard a word about it.
It's
But the
not,
property sold.
so
I think we discussed maybe a meeting or two.
we're really just picking Rich's brain, but I'll keep going.
Well, he's Title V. He's got
So
it. He
the
knows-
last one, yeah, Mr. Title V over here, he opened himself up for it. So Big Shot's gonna get grilled. So I gotta look up.
Like the chief, Title 40, they always hide behind.
So,
Title 40.
so we had, I don't know if you remember, that was, somebody tried to do a mixed-use development
Yeah, that was
there,
shut
and
down.
it just
That
got
was- no.
destroyed. I don't think anybody's had any interest since. And honestly, look, it's a tough location with probably a million.
There was a contract purchaser. It was actually a vendor out of Roselle. He had a glass company.
Yep.
That was interested in going there, and I believe he was contract purchaser. I had reached out to his attorney just to explain that that would also require a use variance.
Yeah.
Because of the zone. He planned on not only selling or retail,
Yeah.
but also manufacturing in the back. And if
Oh,
you
nice.
remember, it's right against a residential property, the rear portion. So, and ever since then, I haven't, that's months ago.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
All right,
All right, sounds good, Rich. Title V.
thank you.
Steve Thompson, you gotta go do stuff. You got cops to go drink beers with. Title V.
I love that.
We're gonna get you a badge, Rich.
Sorry, I don't have any titles I can go over.
That's okay. You're the chief.
Like, but, all right.
Find one.
All right, so I sent my report in, just wanted to go over a few things. First, wanted to congratulate Lieutenant Harms and Sergeant Swick on their promotions. Let you know, again, that the department's still actively recruiting for new members. If anybody is interested, they can look on our website or stop by one of the firehouses on Tuesday night. I just wanted to say thank you to Crossfield Products. We did a walkthrough of their facility on the 25th of April, and it was probably the most thorough walkthrough we've done by any company in Roselle Park that we've ever been involved in. They had complete evacuation plans, complete site plans that they gave to the fire department. They were probably one of the most prepared businesses that I've ever seen, and it was very nice. They were so accommodating, so I just wanted to say thank you to them. Tomorrow, May 5th, we're going to be having our After the Fire program at the high school at 9 a.m. The first time the fire department is sponsoring this, so I'm excited about that to see what we can do with it. Our memorial service for the fire department is going to be Wednesday, May 17th at 7 p.m. That's going to be located at Kelly Coffers Park, or if the weather does not cooperate, we'll just move inside the firehouse. We'll also be participating in the Memorial Day Parade, and we're continuing our meetings and pre-planning with Meridian and Fernmore. We've met several times with them, and things are moving along, and we'll see what happens at the next BRC meeting, because that was a good one.
Good job, Steve. Any questions for the chief?
I'm going to apologize in advance. That letter we got from, and I was tickled pink about, so I'll just say we had a resident that lived in 240. Can you please say, let the public know and let the mayor and council know? Because that was nice to see that.
So there was a resident of 240 West Westfield who was handicapped. She was in a wheelchair, and her family and her had made preparations so that if, God forbid, we ever needed to get her out of the building, we knew exactly where she was. Her family actually sent an email to me saying that she was moving out of the residence as of the end of April, but they wanted to thank us because every time there was a fire alarm, that we were always checking in with her first, and we were the first ones to always get up there to make sure she was all right and make sure she was out of the building. So it was just a thank you and just a letter of appreciation. So it was very nice to hear that.
Keep up the good work, chief. Oh, and just on 240, we finally got a word from DOT, so we're going to do, Kanjan, this is relevant to you. We just got this fresh off the press. So they've committed to doing the crosswalk that they promised us by end of June. It's like taking forever, but they said it should be done by the end of June. The reason that they gave us that it's been a holdup is when they initially planned it, they didn't realize that there was concrete work necessary, so they needed to get another contractor to do the concrete work, and government moves slow. So no excuses, but they committed to doing that by the end of June, which is relevant for you because I think there'll be another loading zone potentially.
Now, there's a fire zone there, so we're just waiting on them as to whether or not, the latest news on that is they may expect us to do the striping.
Whatever,
which
just
we've
let us
already,
do it.
We've already yellowed the curb there, which is relatively helpful, but I'm waiting eagerly.
Signage there and the curb is yellow and.
It's super weird.
Right.
They just they came and did 10% of it and left.
Yeah, so we're waiting to hear if they're going to make us do that or whether they're going to take ownership of it. But either way, the fire zone is there. It is, I'll say it's 60% done, and it's getting the job done as needed, but we'd like to finish it.
It's not perfect yet. Cool.
If we could also just ask them, I don't know about curbing, but getting the fire hydrant painted over on that side too as well.
Yeah, we're going to do that.
We'll just do it. Yeah,
We're going to do that. I spoke to their management over there. We're going to do that.
Okay. Any other questions for the chief? Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Have a good night.
You too. Let's get the engineer up because we pay you by the hour. Sorry, guys. I should have. Let's go.
Thanks, Mayor and Council, for having me here tonight. Just two things I want to touch on relative. The resolution is on for tonight for our services. Includes due diligence, which is reaching out to the different agencies that have jurisdiction. It's going to be the Army Corps of Engineers, the DEP, the DOT, the county, and coordinating with the City of Elizabeth as well. So just a little brief history of what this project entails. So back in 2015, the state put out a mandate saying that any operator of a combined sewer system, which is a storm sewer and sanitary sewer system that's combined, must limit their wet weather discharges to 4 times or less per year. The City of Elizabeth, which operates the system, has well exceeded that several years now.
Partially because of Roselle Park.
Partially, yes. So there's other factors that tie into that. So basically, to limit that occurrence, what you do is you start picking out pieces of the system that has stormwater contributing to it. So Roselle Park being one of the big contributors to that, that's why that system is being picked out and trying to be separated now. So that area we're talking about is about 120 acres, and it covers north of 28 and west of Galloping Hill Road. It's that section. It all kind of leads down to the East Grand and Galloping Hill intersection. From there, we're looking to pick up the storm sewer, run it down Galloping Hill to Route 28, and then Route 28 all the way out to the Elizabeth River. It's about 9,000 to 10,000 linear feet of storm pipe. The pipe currently goes into a 42-inch storm sewer pipe, combined storm sewer pipe. So we're looking to probably continue a 42-inch pipe or possibly upsize it. That's something we're going to have to look into once we do the capacity analysis and pipe sizing analysis, when we physically survey and determine the exact corridor we're going to go through, which is part of our scope of work. So in addition to reaching out to these different agencies and getting their buy-in, We're also going to survey this area and make sure we have, like I say, a clear path. We likely will not have a clear path. There'll be utility conflicts. There'll be challenges with grades and infrastructure that's currently in the way. So part of this project will be to identify those areas, identify how we are going to address them, how we're either going to get around them, do utility relocations. So it'll be coordination with the various utility companies, Elizabethtown Gas, New Jersey American Water, electric companies, stuff like that. So our phases of this project will include all that due diligence, the surveying, and then inevitably the deliverable we'll give to the borough would be a layout plan showing the corridor which we would put the pipe. It would give you the size of the pipe and some preliminary analysis for pipe size calculations and sloping of the pipe. And then we would also provide cost estimates, a brief description of what the permitting process is going to be, because there'll be several permits we'll need to obtain. One being with the Army Corps of Engineers. The DEP is going to require permitting. The DOT is going to require permitting through their right-of-way. Elizabeth as well. So there'll be several agencies all having their hands
Probably
on
even
this
the
project.
county too, right? Because it's Galloping Hill.
And the county as well. So there'll be a lot of different agencies kind of picking apart the project. So that's part of the upfront due diligence and talking to with all these agencies, make sure they're all buying into it before you go full into surveying and design and all that. So that's what this resolution is on for tonight, is for those services.
Are you done stressing me out, Kevin?
For now, when the project starts, you'll get a lot. I'll be a lot more stressed. You'll be a lot more stressed because it will not be an easy process. It's a big undertaking, but it's something that it's good for everybody.
Mayor, one of the ironic things about this project, it's going to be one of the largest the municipality's ever done that's not in the municipality for the most part. Most of this work is going to be outside of the boundaries of Roselle Park because of where if the final design is anything like what we believe the preliminary design is going to be, it's going to be conveying stormwater outside of the municipality. So that infrastructure will have to be built outside of the municipality, which is part of the reason why this is so complicated, because we don't know what's in our way to get to where we have to go.
The good news is there will be very little interruption to your residents.
Can't wait for Elizabeth to complain about it. Cool.
So, and then just really quick, we met with Elizabethtown Gas Company. They have all their projects done. They're going to look to pave early spring, early summertime. Spring, early summertime. We're still waiting for that schedule. The roads that they will be paving, though, is Elm, Filbert, and West Roselle from Colfax to Filbert, and then Meadow, Warren, Butler, and Park. And that will be paved curb to curb.
Awesome. Any questions?
Yeah, can you send that to me in an email?
So I will send that out, and a small amendment to that. Warren Avenue will not be done, and Park will not be done. We needed to make that, this was something that came in over the wire kind of at the last. To explain, the reasoning for that is the municipality will do it. We'll do those roads at a later time. The scales were actually tipped in the municipality's favor. They had extended about 34,000 square feet of asphalt to us as part of previous projects. The time to pay up is now, and so we had to sacrifice some of the curb-to-curb paving now. But in the vicinity of Meadow, there will be curb-to-curb paving, and then up some of the older projects, including West Colfax in that area, and north of West Colfax will be done. I'm going to send out a map to the whole governing body, so that you can all kind of get a visual of what's going to happen. And that was, again, just finalized within the last 24 hours.
Cool.
Just can't wait till Colfax Ave gets paved. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate it, Kevin.
Good night.
Yep. Coach Ranieri, you want to come up?
Good evening, everyone. I would like to thank Mayor Signorello and the Town Council for giving me the opportunity to provide a brief update. The goal of the Roselle Park Recreation Department is to meet the recreational needs of our community. As part of our department's effort to meet these needs and expand community service, our department provides a wide range of programs. I'd like to first congratulate Rupin and the Public Event and Community Affairs Committee for hosting the Meet the Borough event for new residents. It was a great event and a good opportunity for our new residents to learn about our borough. Membership and recreation. We currently have over 480 recreational members. Homework and aftercare. We currently have 164 members daily. We're transporting 85 and escorting 54 students daily. To give you a better idea, we currently bring around 1,200 members through the building per week. We've recently added our recreation department's calendar to our borough's website. Borough of Roselle Park, click calendars, click recreation department. The Parents' Night Out on Friday, 4/28, was a well-attended event. We are glad to help support the Robert Gordon's PTA and our members' date nights. The Recreation Department will be offering the following spring programming: middle school, high school, and adult fitness Monday through Friday at 6 a.m. in the ASYC or 5 p.m. in the high school weight room. High school and adult basketball Mondays at 7:30 in the ASYC. Girls basketball, 3rd through 5th grade and middle school, Wednesdays at 6:15 in the ASYC. Girls wrestling, Thursdays at 7:15 in the ASYC. Boys basketball, 3rd through 5th grade and middle school, Fridays at 6:15 in the ASYC. Pickleball, Wednesdays at 10 a.m. in the ASYC. Middle school and high school volleyball, Wednesdays will start at 5/9 at 6:15 in the ASYC, and then adult volleyball, Wednesdays at 8 o'clock in the ASYC. Please register at rosellepark.net. At Recreation, click Rec Desk. As always, you can contact the Recreation Department at recreation@rosellepark.net with any questions or concerns. Lastly, on the behalf of our members, coaches, and our department, we'd like to thank Mayor and Council for taking the time out of their busy agendas to recognize our outstanding winter recreational team and individual accomplishments. That completes my May Recreation Department update. I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Thanks, John.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you. Mr. Superintendent. Ruben's last. Ruben's got nothing else to do tonight.
Good evening, Mayor and Council, Borough Representatives, and residents of Roselle Park. As I typically do, I'm just going to go through the current staff. We're currently staffed with 12 full-time employees. That includes one superintendent, myself, one clerical, one mechanic, 2 shade tree operators, 2 operators, 2 Class 2 laborers, and 3 Class 1 laborers. As most of you probably heard or aware, we did have a incident yesterday where our shade tree operator was injured by falling off the truck. He didn't fall from 80 feet, thank God. He fell from 9 feet from the platform. I'm not going to get into the logistics of how he fell, but he is doing well. I just spoke to him prior to this meeting. He says what's bruised the most is his ego. He feels bad, but he is a little banged up and bruised. So he's kind of day to day, and we're waiting just for the workers' comp and his doctor to release him for be fit for duty. I anticipate he's going to be out for a week or 2. That's just my anticipation, though. I don't know that for a fact. I'm just going to get into stormwater, especially since we had the heavy rains over the weekend. Last weekend storm brought a significant amount of rain over a multi-day period. The storm allowed us to turn, it's an unfortunate thing, but these types of storms allow us to see how our system's working, right? So it brought up a few areas of concerns. Andrew and I were out there Sunday night. I was out there Saturday with my guys, with a few guys, because we did have some sewer issues on Saturday, and Sunday, same situation, especially during the periods of very, very, very hard rain. The areas of concerns are the draining of the Walnut Street Basin. That was filling up pretty rapidly, and the way it was discharging is something I'm going to have the engineers look at. The intersection of Henlock and East Clay, that area flooded due to, once we got in there on Monday, once the water receded, there's a buildup of roots and muck in those catch basins, along with the pipe that leads westbound towards the culvert area of Cherry Street. I did engage a vendor to take a look at that and help us with, provide pricing and help us ultimately with the clean out of that area. Also, an intersection that's been flooding quite often is Spruce and East Lincoln. That could be because of the culvert on the other side of Walnut Street Basin that's on the other side of Colfax Road. It all leads down to that area. So we're going to look into that. The intersection, wow, that was fast. The intersection of Gallopin Hill Road in Madison, intersection of West Webster and Myrtle. We did clean out those catch basins.
So thank you so much.
There was debris in there backing it up. I mean, if it continues to elevate and flood, we'll have to look at it again. And also the wooded area in front of the Woodside Gardens between Beechwood, that area was flooded also. It was
pretty bad.
The grass area.
And we've got a solution to that coming up, or?
Well, we're engaging the engineer and also a vendor to look at that with us.
We have, so just to put, I'm sorry, Mayor, just to put it in perspective, so we have National Water Main, which I didn't have the word on the tip of my tongue when we spoke this afternoon, Councilman. They're the same vendor. They may not be ultimately the vendor we use, but they are a vendor who's very reliable for the municipality. They rectified a lot of our issues post-Ida underneath Chestnut Street, where we pulled out unbelievable amounts of things that were blocking our stormwater system. They are the experts in the industry and one of the best vendors in the game in New Jersey. Again, it'll all be subject to public procurement, but they know what they're looking at when it comes to these things. So that's one of the areas we want them to take a look at, because there is an existing stormwater system there. We want to know if it was never designed properly or if it just is something wrong with it now.
Just real quick, the only thing I want to interject on, we did approve the stormwater study, right?
We do have the study, but the study will not actually fix any immediate work.
Yeah, I just don't want to, so we commissioned that, Paul, and I appreciate you want to look at spot areas, but I don't want to duplicate costs, right? So, look, if there's something that if we're going to get a holistic picture given the stormwater study, let's not burn cycles on having colliers out there.
I think the idea is we would have the assessment start in these areas.
Okay.
Because they're the most immediately urgent, is
that Neglia or?
Yeah, Neglia.
Okay.
So this is not, these are, the flooding and the rain over the weekend, to Paul's point, is not a catastrophic scenario like Ida, but it is a severe scenario where you can see in a heavy rain event where our weak points may be.
Correct.
So we can start.
So my only guidance then is and this is just important for you because we have two engineers, let's make sure Neglia is on that. And are they subcontracting that out, or are they doing that on their own?
Some of the cammering work they are going to subcontract out, but in terms of the data gathering and compilation of it, they'll be doing.
So let's not bother colliers and get charged by two engineers.
Andrew and I will discuss it. I'll discuss it with Andrew. The only areas that I'm concerned with that Neglia should look at is the basin, Walnut Street Basin, which Andrew knows about, and the area in front of Woodside Garden.
Okay.
The catch, the catch basin work, that's something that we've been trying to handle ourselves, but it's to an extent where we don't have the machinery to pull roots out of or cut roots out of a 12-inch main, so it's someone else.
I'm good. I just don't want to have colliers charge us for something that Neglia is going to do.
Hey, Paul, was Walnut Street the same location where we pulled out all that debris, or just a different particular?
That's Chestnut is where it was really nasty.
Chestnut, okay.
Yeah.
Different,
Okay.
right. And today I was with National Water Main, and the first thing they brought up was they asked me how Chestnut Street did in this flood. Yeah.
We just need to keep on it was the only reason. We need to keep it cut. And
So I think there was like three different ideas of what you said, Councilman. I just want to kind of bridge the gap. So the area of Walnut Street that was a concern during this event was actually on the opposite side, where over by East Colfax. So way up, kind of like in the heart, in the middle of the town, where there is a detention basin on the other side. It wasn't draining properly and it was starting to fill up. So it was actually nowhere near the 100 block of Walnut Street.
Thank you. Well, that'll segue into sanitary sewers. Over the weekend, because of the heavy rains, well, partly due because of the heavy rains and the water infiltrating into the sanitary sewer systems, we were called out several times over the weekend to Westfield Avenue, specifically between Chestnut Street and going westward in front of La Casa Los Altos. They've been having some issues with sanitary sewer getting into their basement. Long story short, we continuously are dealing with a buildup of grease in that system along Westfield Avenue. It flows eastward. On the westbound side, it flows eastward towards Chestnut, up Chestnut to Grant, and then all the way down into Elizabeth. But that section of Chestnut to Los Altos, we've been dealing with quite often in the last, 6 months. We're pulling out football-sized pieces like grease, clumps of grease, and it's got to be the restaurants. I mean, we as a borough have to do a better job of somehow enforcing or doing inspections on these restaurants and their grease traps.
Yeah, okay.
Potholes, weather permitting, we will have a crew out next week. There are a lot of potholes in down. Just as reference, our hot box holds 2 tons of asphalt, hot asphalt. So that's multiple trips a day up to either Watchon or Linden. So we're kind of limited on how much we can get done during the course of a day. Sidewalks, I do have 20 applications. Andrew and I spoke. I have engaged 2 vendors to provide pricing on these 20 sidewalk locations. I'm going to probably close it very soon, within the next week, and get those specs and out to the vendors for pricing. They are spread throughout the town. Some of them are residents, most of them are residents, some of them are borough requests. Lawn maintenance, as you guys know, we are, the Department of Public Works is taking care of the lawns. There are about 25 locations, including the median along Westfield Avenue, for everyone's knowledge. I'm just going to quickly just breeze through them. The Casano Center, the library, Michael Mori, the Gazebo Park, Municipal Complex, all 3 firehouses, Monaco Perry Park, Girl Scout Park, Boy Scout Park, Aldine Park, Loretti Park, Acker Park, corner of Webster and Locust, in front of the Department of Public Works, the medians, the vacant lot on, or up and down Valley Road there. There's a vacant lot on Jerome Street, Hawthorne, Carpenter, and Walnut Street basins, which have been difficult to cut because of all the rain.
Yeah,
It's very soggy in there. The municipal lots, Colfax and Walnut intersection. There's a small culvert on Union Road, corner of Chestnut and Lincoln. There's an area of Pinewood. I said Valley Road. So it goes on and on. There's a few more there. There's an extensive amount of properties to maintain. We've been trying to keep up with it. I think, except for the basins, because of the rain, we've been doing a fairly decent job on keeping up with that. I think that's it. That concludes my report.
Any questions for Paul?
I have one. Any trouble on Spruce and Colfax?
With the rain?
Rain.
No, Spruce and Lincoln.
Yeah, not longer Spruce and Colfax?
No, this time
Okay.
no. Not that I'm aware of.
Yeah, okay. I was just wondering.
And just a question on Bridge Street. Did you notice
I'm
anything?
sorry, what street?
Bridge Street.
Bridge Street?
Next to Jerome. Did you notice anything? Because last December we had residents who came in complaining that they had flooding when any type of rain comes up.
No. We had a cohesive effort with some of the council people calling in and the police department also flagging some of the flooding. I personally didn't get down to Bridge Street that night, so I didn't hear of anything though.
Okay, all right, thanks.
I didn't see it either. I was out there Sunday night. I didn't witness anything on street level on Bridge Street.
Okay.
Yeah, and I didn't see anything, Bridget. Just help me out. What's Valley Road? I didn't go down Valley or Beechwood.
In terms of lawn maintenance?
Yeah, no. About some flooding, like Councilman Urbane. So what's the
So in front of Pinewood?
the street?
Yeah. No, well, it's
It's
on
the area.
Beechwood.
It's the area. It's the area adjacent to. It's actually Beechwood Avenue, over by Woodside Garden Apartments.
The
So-
wooded area.
By the train tracks.
So are we talking about the street or the?
It's a wooded area.
The wooded area was flooded. It didn't breach the curb and onto the street. It was
Yeah.
maintained there, but that's an ongoing
By the
issue.
railroad tracks there, I guess, yeah.
That's
It's been, it probably flooded for 100 years till you guys cleaned it up.
Yeah,
So
and
now we see it, right?
Yeah.
And it gets worse and worse every year.
Yeah, and we're getting
Yeah, I
complaints.
don't know if it's
That's
getting
the-
worse, but it's visible now, so
So we're getting complaints
I
by
guess
the,
we got to be careful by removing that water, right? Yeah, we got to, Yep,
I mean,
okay,
there was-
thank you.
There was a plan to put a catch basin in there and divert it, but I don't know where we're at with that with the engineer yet. Anything else?
No, just request, can we look to get the Hawthorne agreement on the next agenda? Or some framework of it? Is that doable?
We'll talk about that catch basin. We could. They won't be able to use it because they won't be able to access it
Yeah,
upstairs.
yeah, I know, I understand that, but let's just we can get that paperwork done,
Yes.
right, theoretically, and then when you can get to the stairs, you can get to the stairs. Just so everybody knows, this is gonna be a long meeting tonight. Just so everybody knows, and we could just talk about this now. Oh, Paul, you get to put your Board of Ed hat on tonight, too. So, it's been very difficult for our growing soccer clubs to be able to find places to practice on in Roselle Park. Right now, I have long-term dreams of turning something into a dedicated soccer field here in Roselle Park. Fourth Ward Councilman. The thought is to allow for Hawthorne Basin back in the day used to be a soccer practice field, right? It's probably not big enough or in good enough shape to play actual games there.
They
right?
used to play games there.
Did they used to play games there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Paul did a walkthrough with one of the soccer clubs. The thought is to fix it up nice enough to, when it's dry, which is definitely not right now, use it just to kick around for kids, right? Like nothing crazy. Put some lines up there, practice so you can beat it up. So I'd like to put up for the next meeting consideration to allow limited use there as a trial run. If it doesn't work out, we don't have to renew it. We need to get insurance from them, yada, yada, yada. And then the other prerequisite is there's some patchwork we would need to do with the fencing, and we would need to put like a staircase so people could safely walk down there. So it's something that will line up for hopefully the next meeting for consideration. You guys can obviously vote yes or no. Conjon could beat me up if he hates it in the Fourth Ward. I know they're not gonna. I know it's gonna be controversial, but I do think it's important to give these kids a place to play because right now they're getting shipped to Elizabeth, wherever else. You know, let's keep them in town if we can. So understand there's some work to be done, but let's get the paperwork out of the way. This way, I can feel like there's some momentum going there. That's cool. Cool.
Okay.
All right. Thanks. Was that?
Thank you.
Oh, we should charge them. That's what you're getting. Yeah, there should be a fee for it. We're gonna maintain it. I don't know what that fee is yet, though. Yeah. Okay. Thanks.
Thank you.
Ruben.
Thank you, Mayor.
Great report, Ruben. Thank you very much. Have a good night.
You left the best for the last, that's why, I guess. Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everybody. On Saturday, April 22nd, we had more than 16 new families attending our second annual Meet the Borough event. Thank you, Council President Joe Signorello Jr., Councilman Joe Petrosky, Councilman Greg Johnson, Councilwoman Roselle Lyons, Councilman Kanchan Patel, Councilman Jay Robina, Borough Administrator Mr. Casayas, Youth Center Director Mr. Runeri, Library Director Mr. Dion, Roselle Park Police Department, Diversity Committee, Historical Society, Environmental Committee, and local businesses for being there and welcoming our new residents and providing information and services and resources that we offer. On Friday, April 28th, the borough celebrated Arbor Day at the middle school. Thank you again for Council President Joe Signorello Jr., Councilman Joe Petrosky, Councilwoman Roselle Lyons, Councilman Kanchan Patel, Councilman Jay Robina, School Superintendent Mr. Garrido, Principal Ms. Goyes, Environmental Commission Chair, the Student Council, and residents for attending and celebrating with us. Starting this month, we have begun planning day trips for our seniors at the Casano Center. On Monday, May 9, at PNC Art Center for Bobby Wilson's tribute to Jackie and the Sounds of Motown. On May 18, we're going to be visiting to Delicious Orchard. May 24th to Point Pleasant. May 25th to Smithville, Pennsylvania. And May 31st to Seaside Heights. On Tuesday, May 16th, the County Official of Health Management will visit the Center for a presentation on mental health from 12 p.m. to 1 p.m. On Tuesday, May 22nd, MVC Mobile Unit will be visiting Roselle Park to serve 50 residents from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Registration for this event is closed. The next event is on June 20th. Sign up for that event will be open on May 23rd. Residents can visit our Facebook page or can call the center to register. A few reminders on our upcoming events. On Saturday, May 20th, we are having our third annual bike clinic and the first annual Tour de Roselle Park at the Gazebo Park. The event begins at noon. And on Monday, May 29th, the borough will be hosting the annual Memorial Day Parade and service. Parade assembly will begin at 9 a.m. at Sherman School, and the parade will step off promptly at 10 a.m. From Grant Avenue to Chester Street. The parade will pass reviewing stand in front of the community center and will end at the library for memorial service. Police department will announce street closures and parking restrictions as we get closer to the event. As of today, we have approximately 38 groups and organizations signed up or confirmed their participation for the parade. That concludes my report.
You weren't going to get an extension.
Thank you, Mayor.
Just real quick, logistically, the plan is to have, so Rupen, you're going to become the public information officer? What are we titling it?
Yes.
And that's after the budget, I would assume, right? And then when do we have that kicking in? Was it June or something like that? When does that start?
Title 5 and PIO.
Don't know.
Do you want to be Title 5 too?
What do we have? July 1st?
July 1st?
July 1, yeah.
Okay, so we'll have that on for July or something like that. So it's obviously subject to the budget being passed and council approving it, but Ruben's done a great job of setting up our app and, just being general about getting stuff out there. So I'm excited to recommend a promotion for Rupen to get an additional stipend as the public information officer. So July we're targeting.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
You guys got to pass the budget first. Don't clap yet, right? All right. Okay, may I have a motion to accept the reports of departments as submitted?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Andrew, please read ordinance number 2719 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2719 is an ordinance for second reading and public hearing. An ordinance amending the financial agreement with Roselle Park Urban Renewal LLC and authorizing the execution of an assignment and assumption agreement in connection therewith.
May I have a motion to open the public hearing on ordinance number 2719?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Would anybody like to come speak on this ordinance? I'm seeing no one. May I have a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance number 2719?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 2719?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Fran, can you just tee us up real quick one last time what this is before we vote on it?
Absolutely. Good evening, Fran McManaman, Scotland and Bauman, Redevelopment Council to the Borough. This is an ordinance authorizing an assignment agreement for the financial agreement in connection with the Romarovsky project. This financial agreement was executed way back in 2009. Originally, it was executed the project was just one phase. Subsequently, a redevelopment agreement was an amendment to the redevelopment agreement was adopted, and it broke the project into two phases. This is just a procedural process to have the financial agreement, the obligations under the financial agreement be applicable to Phase 2, and the urban renewal entity undertaking Phase 2, which is an affiliate of the redeveloper. So it's just more procedural. None of the substantive terms of the financial agreement are changing.
Cool. Any questions or any discussion?
Oh, she answered it at the end.
Nice. Okay, cool. May I have a motion to adopt?
Yeah.
Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Rabina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is adopted.
Thanks for being here, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Y'all have a good night.
You too. Andrew, please read ordinance number 2725 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2725 is an ordinance for second reading and public hearing, an ordinance amending Chapter 10, Section 4, subsection 4.1 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park entitled Recreation Fees Enumerated.
May I have a motion to open the public hearing on ordinance number 2725?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Would anybody like to come up and speak on this? Seeing no one, may I have a motion to close the public hearing on ordinance number 2725?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 2725?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Rabina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is adopted.
Everybody's favorite ordinance now. Andrew, please read ordinance number 2724 by title.
Yes, Mayor, ordinance 2724 is an ordinance amending Chapter 7 entitled Traffic and establishing Section 45 to be entitled Vehicular Repairs on Public Streets.
May I have a motion to approve ordinance number 27 for introduction and fix the date for second reading and public hearing as May 18th, 2023?
So move.
Second. I need a second, then okay,
Second.
beautiful. Yep.
We got it.
Okay, cool. So, is there any discussion? So, now is when we should talk about amendments, right, procedurally? Okay, so, there's been a lot of online, offline, in-meeting discussions about this. The Borough Administrator took the liberty of redlining a couple updates. I'm going to talk about them in really broad strokes. And if there's any other further discussion, happy to entertain that. Obviously, long story short, we made a couple, I'll go from easiest changes to heaviest changes, right? So washing would be approved on this. You could do washing, right, of your car. The fines have been reduced from $500 to $250. And the second offense would still be $500, I believe, right? Yes. Yep. The other bigger change would be we define what is heavy repairs and light repairs, right? So it's basically a time limit. So light repairs are, as the Borough Administrator redlined, 30 minutes, right? So you got 30 minutes to fix something. Anything above that is a heavy repair, which would be not permitted. Light repairs permitted. So basically under 30 minutes permitted, over 30 minutes not permitted. The one thing I want to add to that, and all of this would need to be, if we want to vote cleanly on his red lines or amend it, the other thing that I've spoken to Councilman Petrosky about and a couple other folks is maybe 30 minutes is a little too light, right? So we were talking about potentially making it an hour versus the 30 minutes I think council's a little bit more comfortable with. So is there any other commentary besides what's been redlined and assuming it's 30 minutes beyond that?
Yeah, so I was actually going to also recommend about the 1 hour, which is pretty fair because oil change takes pretty long time if you have to put jacks on and stuff like that. One of the things, I guess one of the other things that would be like, see if we could have people like personnel clean up any major oil spills or something like that, because I don't really see anything about cleaning wise. So I think we should have something about like any major oil. I mean, obviously, if you're going to clean your car or something like that, you're always going to have a little bit of oil spills, but
I just wish they wouldn't do it on my streets, period, which is why I'm doing this. I understand that it's a good suggestion. I don't even know how you would incorporate.
So I don't think it's necessary to incorporate in this ordinance because it's a traffic ordinance, but hazardous spills, including oil spills, are already regulated by the Department of Health.
Okay.
So if there was a spill that large, it would need to be reported to the health department, probably law enforcement, and then it would escalate to the health department. If it was a large enough spill, DEP would be involved. But typically, even for instances where there's a traffic accident, you see it, people throw down speedy dry.
Kitty litter.
You know, it's not a perfect solution, but it is the solution that we use in the state of New Jersey at least.
Okay.
So the mechanism for a spill, like a minor spill, would be a self cleanup. If it was a large spill, it would be escalating to probably call the non-emergency police number. And then they would call out the health department.
Gotcha.
Or county hazmat could also be involved. There's a cascade of, with dispatch, I'm not going to get into the whole thing, but when a call goes into dispatch, it will go through a procedure. So if it's a spill, hazmat will be triggered, Department of Health will be triggered, probably police or even fire department would be triggered. So there's a procedure for it.
So it is basically enforced. So I just want
We have something enforceable, which is
good.
news to me too, which is good to know.
Yeah. Anything. I do have some like basic personal is like as long as they're not blocking the traffic. I'm guessing there might be something on about that too. So.
Yeah, so broadly, you are not, I mean, you can't block traffic, right? It's been a bugaboo. Some of the UPS and FedEx are a little bit better, but Amazon's been not good about this. I mean, you're not supposed to double park. You're not supposed to be in the right of way. So quite frankly, I see this as wave one of, there's a bunch of little things that we've been doing wrong in Roselle Park we need to start cleaning up, right? Like the double parking, the parking in inappropriate zones. I think there's a big issue we need to tackle with commercial parking on our streets, right? Which I'm not going to get into tonight, but is another topic for another day. It's abused, right? And part of why, to short circuit that, I think we probably already still have the rules of the road that we can enforce that theoretically if somebody's blocking
You
traffic.
cannot impede the flow of traffic.
Yeah.
Whether it's on a sidewalk or a street.
So if somebody's doing this in the middle of the street, who cares what this ordinance is? They're not.
just can't do
Yeah, you're gonna get ticketed
Okay.
or towed.
Yeah, and I guess one question that might be for the police chief, but like, how would this be enforced? Like, I know we're gonna put like 1 hour, but like, how's it gonna be? What's the idea behind this?
Yeah, which honestly, so I'll let Andrew respond on enforcement, but that's part of the reason why I was hesitant to put a time limit because it's hard. It makes it harder to enforce, right? Like,
Yeah.
I almost wanted just to clean. You can't do it, right? And if it's like, look, our police department have discretion of enforcement in general too, right? Like people get warnings all the time for stuff, right? So that's why it's cleaner. It was cleaner in my opinion to just say these are the rules. You can't do it, period. And then if somebody just says, hey man, I was just changing my washer fluid, a cop's not going to give you a $500 ticket for that. They're just not going to. But in this new reality, Andrew, I'm happy to hear you opine on it.
Right, so in some of the consideration of drafting this from what you folks have talked about and the public has voiced their concerns about is how do you simplify this and make it fairer from an enforcement perspective that poses some problems. One of the problems was, do you segregate or differentiate between what they're doing? That's very difficult, right? Because when the police show up and say, hey, you were changing your oil out here, and they say they weren't, they're not going to check the dipstick, right? Like at the end of the day, right? There's something definitive and objective that they have to look at, right? And that is time. So if somebody calls and says, practically speaking, somebody calls and says, hey, either the police have to be seeing it and, they circle the block and they
see it at 1:30, the clock's on to 2:30.
Right, and they come back and they say, hey, it's been, 2 hours or it's been an hour and a half. What are you doing out here? There's going to be a dialogue then. It's going to be, well, is there something wrong? Like, is there a problem? No? Okay, well, you can't do that. More than likely, they're going to get a warning. If the police come back the next day and they're doing the same thing, more than likely a summons, but they have the discretion on that. So the time limit is not perfect. More likely than not, it'll be based off of resident reporting. So a resident will call and say, hey, this guy's been out here for 2 hours. I don't know what he's doing, but he's bothering everybody. He's, or whoever, guy, girl, offending the ordinance. And the police will go out and talk to that individual and say, how long have you been out here? We got a couple complaints. So it could be proactive or it could be reactive, but the reality is the time limit at least puts a very objective line between what is right and what is wrong.
Okay.
Well, also, Kanjan, just keep in mind that this ordinance is new, so it's going to make it a requirement for residents to come in or to notify the borough when they're said starting or commencing and ending their said oil change, light oil change. So, I mean, I don't want to complicate it. I think it's better if we let the police take time to assess the issue of hand, and then maybe later on they could sit down with Andrew and the mayor and probably come up with another solution.
I mean, I make this akin to a noise violation, right? Like we get noise violations all the time, right? And look, the cops come and say, hey, turn it down. And if you don't turn it down, then things escalate, right?
And with the cameras all over the place today, it'll be easy to assess if someone's been out there for longer than an hour and a half. I mean, I got a Zoom camera. Every neighbor has a Zoom camera. So I don't think it'll be that complicated at all.
No.
Okay, thank you.
So I'll let anybody else talk, but is it safe to assume that the red lines are okay and the one change to the red lines would be we're moving it from 30 minutes to an hour? Is council comfortable with that?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So,
1 hour.
Madam Borough Attorney, I would assume, so I'd need a motion to amend, but should I have Andrew read out what the amendments would be? How do you want to do this procedurally?
It's kind of long, his redlining, so I would almost reintroduce this.
Well, no. So the let's just, if I could. So the governing body as a whole has the red lines. The only change from the red lines is 1 hour. I'm certainly, in lieu of holding this for another meeting, which I think would be unnecessary, I'll happily read the red lines, but the whole governing body has the red lines. They've been circulated days in advance. The only change to that red line is, in terms of heavy repairs and light repairs, is instead of 1/2 hour, it will say 1 hour.
So you're going to read these changes into the record?
If I have to, I will.
Okay, I think you should.
Yeah, let's do it. So read their changes into the record, Andrew.
Okay, so for ordinance 2724, under section 2, after commercial motor vehicle, there will be inserted a new definition for heavy repairs, which will read, shall mean work performed or to be performed upon any commercial motor vehicle or motor vehicle that requires monopolization of space or maintenance of operations, including but not limited to motors, ignition systems, transmissions, drive or electrical systems, the conduct of body or fender work, or the replacement of fluids or oils for an extended time greater than 1 hour. And light repairs will mean, will be defined right after that as shall mean work performed or to be performed on any commercial vehicle or motor vehicle that requires monopolization of space for maintenance operations, including but not limited to the motor, ignition systems, transmissions, drive or electrical systems, the conduct of body or fender work, or the replacement of fluids or oils for a time less than 1 hour. Skipping ahead, so you have the definition of motor vehicle, which will be unchanged. Repairs will be completely removed and stricken from the ordinance. Moving on to Section 3 for on-street work prohibitions. The definition of Section 7-45.2 will be revised to read on-street heavy repairs prohibited. That will read as follows, as amended with red lines, additions, and subtractions. The performance of any heavy repairs, as defined by this section, on public streets in the Borough of Roselle Park are prohibited. The performance of light repairs shall be permitted. The performance of light repairs on a roadway or highway within the Borough of Roselle Park allowed in this section shall not conflict with NJSA 39:4-136. The prohibition of heavy repairs on public streets shall not apply during declared weather-related states of emergency or may as otherwise be determined by the Borough of Roselle or by the Roselle Park Police Department or any other jurisdictional law enforcement agency in the furtherance of public health, safety, and welfare. The entire existing Section 4 would be deleted. Section 5 would be renumbered as Section 4 and will and then the underlying code section, 7-45.4, will read as follows: on-street washing and cleaning permitted, which will read after revisions, additions, and subtractions, the routine washing or cleaning of any commercial vehicle or motor vehicle on any public street shall be expressly permitted by this section and shall not constitute heavy repairs or light repairs. Moving on to currently Section 6 will be renumbered Section 5, violations and penalties. The section underlying code section 7-45.5, failure to comply penalties shall read as follows: it shall be the duty of the police department to enforce this section. An initial violation of this section shall, upon conviction thereof, be punishable by a fine not to exceed $250 or a period of community service not exceeding 90 days or both. Violations of this section issued subsequent to the first offense shall, upon conviction thereof, be punishable by a fine not to exceed $500 or a period of community service not to exceed 90 days or both. Current ordinance Section 7 will be renumbered as 6 and content will remain the same. Current ordinance Section 8 will renumber Section 7, content will remain the same. Current ordinance Section 9 will be renumbered 8, effective date, and will remain the same.
Okay, so may I have a motion to amend the ordinance as redlined?
So move.
Second.
Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Rabina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The proposed ordinance is amended.
So now I'm asking for a motion to introduce
As amended.
as amended, okay. May I have a motion to, where am I doing this? Introduce ordinance number, it's still 2724, right?
Yep, as amended.
For introduction and fix the date for second reading and public hearing as May 18th, 2023, as amended.
So move.
Second.
Is there discussion on this?
Yes.
Is there any discussion? Andrew, call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Rabina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is introduced.
Okay, Andrew, please read ordinance number 2726 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2726 is an ordinance for introduction, ordinance to exceed the municipal budget appropriation limits and establish a cap bank for calendar year 2023 pursuant to NJSA 48:4-4514.
May I have a motion to approve ordinance number 2726 for introduction and fix the date for second reading and public hearing as May 18th, 2023?
So move.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Robina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is introduced.
May I have Andrew, please read ordinance number 2727 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2727 is an ordinance for introduction, an ordinance amending Chapter 10, Section 4, Subsection 4.1 of the Code of the Borough of Roselle Park entitled Recreation Fees Enumerated to establish a fee schedule for grades K through 8 recreation flag football.
May I have a motion to approve ordinance number 2727 for introduction and fix the date for second reading and public hearing as May 18th, 2023?
So move.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Robina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is introduced.
Andrew, please read ordinance number 2728 by title.
Yes, Mayor. Ordinance 2728 is an ordinance for introduction, a bond ordinance providing for various capital improvements by the Borough of Roselle Park, appropriating the aggregate amount of $2,196,000 therefore, including various grants in the aggregate amount of $750,990 expected to be received, and authorizing the issuance of $1,320,000 in bonds or notes of the borough to finance part of the cost thereof.
May I have a motion to approve ordinance number 2728 for introduction and fix the date for second reading and public hearing as May 18th, 2023?
So move.
Second.
Is there any discussion? Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Robina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The ordinance is introduced.
Spending $2.2 million flies by, and road repairs requires this amendment. We passed that one, right?
That's just
Okay, got it. All matters listed with an asterisk are considered to be routine and non-controversial by the council and will be approved by one motion. There will be no separate discussion of these items unless a member of the governing body so requests, in which case the item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered in its normal sequence on the agenda as part of the general orders. Andrew, please read the resolutions remaining.
Yes, Mayor. Resolution 12823 is accepting the resignation of Madeline Calandro from all employment with the Borough of Roselle Park. Resolution 12923 is accepting the resignation of Christian Marquez from the Roselle Park Fire Department. Resolution 13023 is accepting the resignation of Rico Negron from the Roselle Park Recreation Committee. Resolution 13123 is approving the time due calculation in terms of final payment for Michael Wilgus. Resolution 13223 is amending the 2023 capital budget. Resolution 13323 is authorizing introduction of the 2023 municipal budget. Resolution 13423 is awarding a contract to A Plus Construction, Inc. for the project Roselle Park Housing Rehabilitation Program, case number RP-50, in an amount not to exceed $17,950. Resolution 13523 is authorizing the treasurer to issue one check totaling $432.03 payable to one lien holder on one property and one check totaling $1,800 from the tax collector's premium account. Resolution 13623 is authorizing the submission of Form 1B, a strategic plan for the Borough of Roselle Park Municipal Alliance grant for fiscal year July 1, 2023 to June 30, 2024. Resolution 13723 is authorizing the hanging of a two-sided banner in Michael J. Morey Park, advertising the 2023 Feast of St. Anthony, and the placement of 5 lawn signs advertising the 2023 Feast of St. Anthony on any borough property without restriction as it pertains to location, to be placed no sooner than 2 weeks prior to the event and removed the day after the end of the event. Resolution 13823 is authorizing ongoing take-home use of a borough vehicle by Police Captain Keith Wintermute, and Resolution 13923 is awarding a professional services contract to Colliers Engineering and Design for professional engineering services for the project stormwater separation in an amount not to exceed $400,000.
Do any members wish to have any items removed from the consent agenda? I'm going to pull 133-23 because I feel like getting on my soapbox. Anything else?
Yeah, Mayor, 128.
Okay. May I have a motion to approve the resolutions remaining on the consent agenda?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
May I have a motion to adopt Resolution 128-23?
So moved.
So move. Yep. Second.
Get it together, guys. Come on.
switched it.
Come on. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, I'd just like to thank Maddie for many years' service to the borough and wish her good luck in her future endeavors.
Likewise. Best of luck, Maddie.
Ditto.
Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorello.
Yes.
Councilman Robina.
Yes.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The resolution is adopted.
May I have a motion to adopt Resolution 133-23?
So moved.
Second.
Is there any discussion? I'm going to get on my soapbox. I'm going to own this. This is an ugly budget. It is less ugly than other municipalities are struggling with around the state. I'm very, very proud of the work that Andrew and Ken have done setting this up. I'm very, very proud of the work that the Finance Committee has done. I think they've done an admirable job. It's been a painstaking process to get it to the budget that we're at. The reality of the situation is our municipal aid has not gone up in years. And we have compounding effects where the state is withholding money that's rightfully ours in the energy receipts tax, and they should be held, their feet should be held to the fire for that. It's a sin that Chris Christie took it from us, and the current administration still does the same for whatever pet projects they see fit when the money belongs to boroughs like Roselle Park. And quite frankly, like, a lot of this blame lies in Trenton too, right? We are looking at historic increases in the public pension system, in our insurance plans, and all of this has been kicked down the road, kicked down the road, kicked down the road at the expense of local taxpayers. Now, there are levers that we could pull. We could have, fired folks, right? And firing folks to make that really concrete, because the local finance board, which I take great issue with, said that it's time for towns to start cutting. So towns to start cutting means that I would need to fire DPW folks or fire cops. So I encourage them to come and explain to the borough of Roselle Park which I should fire. I'd really love to have that conversation. We are a borough that has a volunteer fire department. We are a borough that shares services for police dispatch, which not a lot of towns do. We are a borough that, what other shared services do we do, Andrew? I'm too fired up and my Italian's going. What else do we share?
The whole health department,
Yeah.
the dispatchers, the EMS services.
Yeah. My first year here, we fired 7 people, right? And I'm not proud of that, but we did that because it was a fiscally responsible thing for the borough. Now, the nice thing is, if you look at the sum total of our last 5 budgets, it evens out to a pretty good number. We're getting whacked this year. Look, part of it is because of inflation, part of it is because of whatever, rising costs elsewhere, but all of these things can and should be solvable, and they are not solvable on a one-off basis by small boroughs like us. The other quite frustrating thing is, and I understand that school budgets should be made whole, our school state aid is going up and up, and I'm proud to see that happen. I think that they have acted responsibly, but local taxes shot up when that aid was pulled by the Christie administration, and I would hope that in tandem with them getting state aid, they'd be able to reel in their spending and yield reductions in taxes. All of these macro level issues hurt development in New Jersey, hurt taxpayers in New Jersey, hurt retention of people in New Jersey, hurt homeowners who want to retire in their own home that they worked very hard for, and it's nonsense that this problem continually gets kicked and kicked and kicked down the road by governor after governor and by administration after administration. And I'm pissed, and I'm mad as a taxpayer here. I'm mad as the mayor, but I can say we did our best in spite of that. So I'm proud of the work that is done. I'm very, very frustrated with the macro level situation going on. When people are asking for tax relief, all we get is a program to get a voucher, and when you call the program to get a voucher, you're kicked off the phone because they can't even handle the volumes of people applying for the Anchor program. The Anchor program is a bandage on a broken leg, and it is not fixing the systemic issues we have cost-wise here for municipalities in New Jersey. My tirade is over now. Any council people want to say anything else?
Yeah, I would like to talk, Mayor. As chairman of the Budget Committee, and I've been the chairman for the last 4 years, and I've been on the Finance and Budget for 7. This has been the worst year of my 7 years and 4 years as chairman. I have a lot of confidence in Ken. I know he tried, I kept right up to today, I thought he could do some magic. And again, last year, the average was $8 per household. This year, it's just, I was told before we started, it was going to be a rough year. You had recycling go up, garbage, the benefits, so and the pension. So we knew we were in for, and I know Ken did his best, Andrew. I know you did your best. We tried every angle we could that was permissible. And so, like I said, 7 years being on this finance, I got to know Ken. I knew him before, but got to know him a little better. And I know if there's a way he could have got it down, we would have got it down. Like I said, last year, I remember it was 20-something, and the day before he called me up and said, I got it down to $8 per household. So I'm not happy with it. I agree with everything what the mayor said. It was real, I even thought about, before he appointed me, chairman, about buckling down, but, I'm not like that. I stand in, and when the go gets tough, you stay, and I appreciate my committee. They were, great. We did everything we possibly can, and and again, me personally, I'm not going to lay off a police officer, DPW worker, because we're short there also, or a municipal worker. So we did everything possible we could do, and we didn't cut no programs and everything. So all the programs are there, and hopefully, next year's a better year. But and when I'm told by other towns, I talked to a few other council people, and almost every town's hitting a bad year. It's going up. So
Just one quick correction, no hamburgers after Memorial Day, unfortunately.
Okay.
Joe.
Okay. Yeah. Well, yeah, that. But I mean, when I say cut programs, complete programs. Not, we did away with something, which we thought was the best for the borough, and hopefully some of them we could bring back next year. But again, I want to thank Ken and Andrew. Mayor, I want to thank you for your guidance, and my two committee people on there. Thank you very much. And I think we worked great as a team, and it's just a bad year. So I know I received many phone calls the last couple of weeks, and so again, I'm not happy about it, but I will be voting yes, because I did talk to Ken, and he told me complications if you don't pass the budget. So I'm not happy about it, but I will be voting yes. That's all I have to say, Mayor. Thank you.
Any further discussion?
Yeah, Mayor, I just wanted to say I echoed exactly why you was pontificating over there about the anchor program. I kind of feel the same way. It's just a patchwork. But the reason why I wanted to speak is, a couple of weeks ago, I expressed my discontent and dislike for the budget, but it has nothing to do with the work process. It's basically, I echo everything that the mayor said, and after reviewing what the committee came back, I do see a great improvement compared to what was depicted a few weeks ago. And I just want to say I do thank Ken. I had the opportunity to work with Ken for 2 years. I was on the committee, and I know that if he can make some magic, the magic would have happened already. So I'm not pleased with this budget. However, I'm no longer a hard no anymore because of Ken digging deep along with Andrew and squeezing a couple more nickels and dimes to try to help the average taxpayer that's being faced with little nuances like trying to buy bread and milk and pay the mortgage. So with that being said, I thank you, Ken, for all the hard work that you've done, and I always respect your expertise.
Any further discussion? Okay. Andrew, please call the roll.
Councilman Petrosky.
Yes.
Councilman Johnson.
Yes.
Councilman Signorella.
Yes.
Councilman Rabina.
Not a happy one, but yes.
No.
Put sad face next to Greg's yes.
Hey, and just so you know, it was Junior that convinced me.
Councilwoman Lyons.
Yes.
Councilman Patel.
Yes.
6 votes in the affirmative, Mayor. The budget is introduced.
Feels good. It actually feels bad, but whatever. All right, Jay, you got a baby on the way. You go first.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, Mayor, colleagues, and good evening, Roselle Park. Congrats, Lieutenant Harms and Sergeant Swick. On April 22nd, I attended the Meet the Borough event as well as Celebrate the Trails event in Kenilworth, hosted by Union County Connects. I'd like to say thank you to Commissioner Al Mirabella and Councilman Greg Johnson for attending and supporting the creation of trails and greenways, not only benefiting residents and businesses here in Roselle Park, but neighboring communities. So thank you for joining me at that event. Great job to Union County Connects, Rails to Trails Conservancy. Thank you to Union County County Manager, Deputy County Manager, and everyone involved and committed to expanding our greenways and open spaces. Especially you, Mr. Mayor. You kicked off this initiative, 2.5, 3 years ago, and because of that, things have turned the way they have, so thank you. And also thank you to the county for the infrastructure award for Beechwood and Avenue and Aldine Park. On Wednesday, the 26th, as liaison and borough representative on the Chamber of Commerce Board, I attended their board meeting. New members from our community recently joined and include Journey to Peace Doula, Art XO, and Own Your Own Space Professional Organizing. These businesses are investing in opportunities like the Chamber to grow, to be better for our community. So if you haven't heard of them or visited, check them out. Google or Facebook. And if you're new to the Greater Union Chamber, use them. Learning opportunities, corporate, financial, and healthcare discounts, looking to fill positions with Kane University students, and connecting with other businesses and new clientele. It's all there if you need it. Visit unionchamber.com or find them on Facebook. On Friday, April 28th, I attended the tree planting at Roselle Park Middle School, along with a number of my colleagues here on the dais. An eastern redbud was planted, and I've got some fun facts here. Roadside trees reduce nearby air pollution more than 50%. If you're working from a home or office, workers with a view of trees report significantly less stress and more satisfaction. In 1 year, an acre of mature trees absorbs the amount of carbon dioxide produced by a car driven 26,000 miles. And one large tree can provide a day's supply of oxygen for up to 4 people. And last fast fact from arborday.org, trees cool cities up to 10 degrees by shading our homes and streets and releasing water vapor into the air through their leaves. I'd like to thank Eric Kennedy and Ryan Urban from our DPW for assisting our students dig, set, and plant the tree. And I wanted to say congratulations to Miss Patricia Goyce, the principal at Roselle Park Middle School, for being selected to become Roselle Park School District Superintendent. As the father of a middle schooler, I can attest that she is very caring, empathetic, accessible, and an extremely capable leader. And not only as a dad, but as a member of this governing body, I wish you congratulations, and I look forward to further improving our direction, education, and curriculum for all students. But no single person can do it alone. It all begins with how we, as parents, teach and raise our children at home. And while on that topic, it's National Bike Month, and thank you, Mayor, for the proclamation. I've been a strong advocate for our Rails to Trails initiatives on the Rahway Valley and throughout our borough. Couldn't do it without your support and the rest of the council members. It all begins with how we as a parent teach and raise our children at home. Being disrespectful to our neighbors, parents, seniors, and crossing guard is something we've seen a lot. I've received quite a few phone calls and witnessed it myself, groups of children recklessly and aggressively riding on our roadways. So we've got to do a better job out there. Parents, New Jersey State Police data shows that a total of 694 fatalities statewide for 2022, including pedestrian, bicyclist, and motorist. We were all teens once, but cars are faster, lighter, and there are more distractions on the road now than ever before. So please, parents, talk to your kids about the rules of the road. Pedestrians, please walk at corners or designated crosswalks. Wait for cars to slow and stop before crossing, and don't assume they'll stop. It takes time, effort, support, money, and coordination advocating and installing traffic calming and safety measures like rapid flashing beacons, radar signs, speed humps. However, they're all useless if 1, pedestrians don't use them as intended, and 2, if motorists disregard them. So expect enforcement. Can't say when and where law enforcement will be, but walk like a driver may not see you. Bike like you don't own the road. And drive like that's your son or daughter out there. That's one of the many reasons why I advocate for trails and greenways, areas dedicated for micromobility. And anyone interested in learning more regarding safe biking and pedestrian tips, regardless of age, join us on May 20th, Saturday, for our inaugural Tour to Roselle Park and 3rd annual bike clinic at Michael Morey Park. 12:30 for the bike ride, 1:30 for the clinic. As liaison to the county's Transportation Advisory Board, I attended the latest meeting, which was yesterday. The county engineer reports the Gordon Street Bridge is nearing 60% completion and still on goal for a late summer opening. There's also a number of bridges slated for repair around the county due to recent and not so recent storms. We may experience a little traffic disruption in the future due to a bridge or road closure. It's a temporary inconvenience, but one to ensure safety so our road infrastructure lasts for decades to come. And last couple of weeks, I've taken calls and met with a number of residents personally regarding ADA issues, park concerns, curb aprons, ponding, and other quality of life issues. Thank you to construction official Rich Beluccio and B.A. Kasai for your assistance and continued follow-up, along with Mayor and Council for your support. Fifth Ward, I'm here for you at 862-236-0019. Jay Rabine at rosellepark.net. Mayor, good timing for coming back. I'm done with my report.
That's a good timing.
Excuse to leave.
Thank you. Thanks, Jay. Councilman Patel?
Mayor, good to go?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, you're
Thank you,
excused.
sir.
Yeah, please. Best of luck with everything.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Yep.
All right.
Good luck.
Good luck.
Get cigars tomorrow.
See. With the Cubans.
Go ahead, Conjon.
All right. Good evening. On April 22nd, I attended the Meet the Borough event for the new residents. And thank you to all the residents who stopped to see the services and resources the borough provides. For the new residents who were not able to attend, I personally dropped off the goodie bags to their homes. And if you're a new resident and did not receive a goodie bag, please contact me through my email. On April 25th, the Finance Committee had a meeting to discuss the 2023 budget. Thank you, Ken and Andrew, for all your hard work on the budget. On April 28th, I attended the Rose Park Annuals Arbor Day celebration held at Rosa Park Middle School. The occasion was marked by planting a redbud tree. Thank you, everyone who came out, and especially the student and the staff. I would like to highlight some of the concerns that worked on this past couple weeks. Number one, residents in the area of Webster's and Faytou Avenue has expressed concerns about the effectiveness of the street light next to the Eldine Park intersection. Andrew's team will be working on making a request to upgrade the street light brightness. A study was conducted on the 400 blocks of Amsterdam Avenue, and the study found that 90% of the vehicles were traveling at or below the posted speed limit of 25 miles an hour. 7% of the vehicles were traveling between 26 miles per hour and 30 miles per hour. 2% of the vehicles were traveling from 31 and 35 miles an hour, and 1% of the vehicles were traveling above 36 miles per hour. I will be working with the police chief in regards to tackling the issues, focusing on the 1% who were traveling above 36 miles an hour. Number of concerns residents have reached out to me about proposed ordinance 2724, which prohibits vehicle repairs on the street. The new changes to the ordinance are more reasonable than the original, so thank you for those changes. As liaison to the Environmental Commission, the Environmental Commission was recently awarded a grant for Union County to replace 2 beds at the community garden. The beds will be installed in ceremony next Friday, May 12th, just in time for the opening day on Saturday, May 13th. Also, the Rose Park Green Team needs members. Please contact council or mayor if you are interested. I would like to highlight some of the events that will be happening in recent future. On May 28th, Rose Park will host a 2-part cycling event. The event is free and open to all residents. For more information, please call the Cassano Center at 908-245-0666. New Jersey Motor Vehicle Commission Agency on Wheels will be returning to Roselle Park on May 22nd, but the registration is closed. Make sure the June registration will be posted on Borough's page on May 23rd. For more detail, please contact the Cassano Center. On May 29th, the Borough of Rosa Park will hold its annual memorial parade and service at 10 a.m. June 10th, the Borough of Rosa Park will be hosting a free paper/document shredding event in municipal lot next to the Borough Hall from 10 a.m. to 12 p.m. Registration is open for Spring 2023 Borough-wide garage sales. The form can be found on Borough's social media or the Rose Park website. It will be on June 10th and June 11th from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Bulk waste pickup will be on June 15 west side and June 16 east side. And that concludes my report. If you need to get in contact with me, please email me at kpatel@rosapark.net. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilwoman Lyons?
Hi, everybody. I'll make this quick. I went to everything and come to everything. No.
Every council person should do that. I went to all the stuff.
I've been there. Hope to see you. No, I'll highlight the Meet the Borough. I heard about a cat being saved because the community stuck together. That was like a really cool story, and also a love story. So that was really awesome. But it was great to meet people, and I do also have the bags and the goodie bags for, I have 36 families that I need to, I have a lot of people to go and see. So I am coming. I just haven't been able to get there yet. Let's see. So I also want to just commend Rupin Shaw, John Ranieri, and his team. They did a great job putting it all together and all the bags. Thank you, guys. You did really great. For Arbor Day, it was awesome. I'm going to focus on the kids. Chloe sang an awesome, amazing song. She sang God Bless America. Julie was there, Julie Rabena, and Max, I don't know his last name, but he was here actually tonight. So it was just great meeting them, and Patricia Goyce as well, and everyone that was there. It was a beautiful event. I attended Community Affairs meeting on the 26th. We are planning some great activities. Memorial Day Parade is coming up. And I'm just going through. The major thing also I want to mention is the app for My Roselle Park. It is really great, and I was actually showing people at the Meet the Borough and really getting people to go on there because it really has everything that you need to know, and we don't have to announce every single thing. You just go on; it's all there.
I got my first alert on that. Was that you or was that Rupin? Was the garage sale one?
It's all Rupin.
No. Public information.
No, seriously, it really is all Rupin.
Good.
It has all the events that are coming up and really awesome information. So it's called My Roselle Park. It's free. Go on there and get the app. And I just want to say it's going to be Mother's Day in a couple weeks, so happy Mother's Day to the mamas in town. And I'm going to end with 2 jokes. Is that okay?
No.
I'll take those.
Okay, here we go. It's spicy is the universal mom code word for I don't want to share. Haha. Okay. And then the next one. Don't be so hard on yourselves, Mom. The mom in E.T., if you remember that movie, had an alien living in her house for weeks and it didn't notice. Right? That's good, right? Right? So, but listen, with everything that's been happening, and I also reiterate everything that you said, Mayor, that it is a hard year. We are going through tough times. Be kind. I really just, on the note of having Woman of the Year, I thank you for allowing us to do that as a town. But really just be happy and proclaim that. I see some people always accusing and complaining, and sometimes I just go and be nicer to them because, maybe love will help them out. But thank you. That concludes my report today.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Councilman Petrosky.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. First of all, I want to send my condolences out to Sally Pushino, which is called Pushino's mother, John Carriman. And let me tell you a quick story about John Carriman. I was 20 years old, and they talked me into being in charge of the fields down the Little League fields. And during the winter, it had to be January, February. I had just became the building and grounds guy, and someone took a big block and threw it at the pipes at the bathrooms in the Little League field and broke the pipe. And I got a call at 2 o'clock in the morning, and I didn't know where the shutoffs were or anything. So I had to call Mr. Carriman, and he did come down and he shut the pipes off. So I always remember that. But again, my condolences. Joseph Marchesi, Frank Streno, which was a 1969 graduate, and Richard Kapsch, which was a 1958 graduate. Gary, thank you for letting me know about them. And also Tina Schwartz's mother passed away. I know she wasn't a Roselle Park resident, but Tina's been a Roselle Park resident. April 22nd, I did go to the Meet the Borough. On the 25th, we had a budget meeting. 28th was Arbor Day. This past Monday, May 1st, I had the fire department meeting. Real quick, I'm usually there very quick. I know they continue. But again, the memorial for the firemen is May 17th at 7 o'clock at Kelly's Coffers Park. I know Lynn's going to come up and talk about the GoFundMe, but that's for the Historical Society, and I know they're doing very well with their efforts. Congratulations to Mike Wilgus on his retirement, and Madeline, I know she's Friday, right, is her last day?
Next Friday.
Next Friday will be her last day, so congratulations to both of them. And also our promotions, Robert Harms and Brian Swick, gradually. And again, I agree with you, Joe. It's good to see two Roselle Parkers, like that. And I want to wish everyone, all mothers, a happy Mother's Day, which will be next Sunday, May 14th. Jay Petrosky at rosellepark.net, 908-666-7821. That's my report, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilman. Councilman Johnson?
Yeah, thank you, Mayor. I'm gonna shorten this up.
Everybody's tired.
I'm beat. This is a long meeting. Wow. Haven't did one of these in a while. Never did one of those. First, I would like to go over the past few respective meetings that I attended over the past and supported within the past few weeks. The first get-together that I attended was on Saturday, April 22nd, which was the Meet the Borough event, welcoming new residents to our beloved community. This was a great event, informing new residents what Roselle Park truly has to offer. So all in all, just good job, Director Rupin, for putting that together. All the bags were passed out, done. The next event, equally important, that I attended as the governing body Board of Liaison this year was the Board of Education meeting, which was held on Tuesday, April 25th. I got something different. Yes. At the Borough High School, on that day I received plenty of good, solid information regarding ethics training for the new and current Board of Education members that were sworn into office about their respective duties and responsibilities to and for the children, residents, and staff members that are part of this community. To me, this training is essential, and I am hopeful that these board members, and I'm certain they will do their best to follow these guidelines, respective guidelines that was put in place by our legislation. Excuse me, I'm trying to shorten this up. And I just want to encourage all members of our community to attend the Board of Education meetings. I feel like that's important, especially when it's in regards to our children. So any parents out there, I want to see more people attend these meetings. It's important. So to be a part of the process that may affect our children in our community. At this juncture, I would like to share with residents a couple of newsworthy community concerns, as well as notable mentions. I would like to thank the Union County Traffic Bureau for assisting the borough with conducting these traffic studies. We don't actually have the device, so we rely on the assistance of the county, and I think we should take the time to just tell them thank you for that. And of course, thank you to the chief who initiated the process by asking them. So thank you all together. Just looking at these traffic studies, to me, they're significantly good, actually. Even the one that Kanjan just read. There are some discrepancies, and we will work hard trying to mitigate those discrepancies. But those one or two anomalies, it don't represent the numbers on these studies. And me coming from Newark and working in Newark and viewing traffic studies from Newark, these are A+ traffic studies. Sometimes we need to consider how good our borough is efficient in making our community safe. We put crosswalks everywhere. We paint lines everywhere. I mean, I don't know. However, Jay has a bike seminar. If it's not one elected official doing something up here regarding safety, I don't know. So I just ask the residents to be patient in understanding this process. And if you would like, I will be happy to sit down with any one of you guys to explain this process a little bit more in depth offline. I just wanted to thank Andrew. I appreciate you. We got that letter out today, or was it yesterday, regarding the request for traffic mediation at Union Road and New Jersey Route 28, preventing individuals from turning left out of the Dollar Tree parking lot. A successful survey, Mayor. That's the hidden joke for you.
Okay, got it.
A successful survey was provided, engaging the residents.
What were the results?
Well, one of them was a landslide. No one wants.
So this
people
one was
turning left out of the Dollar.
This one wasn't a tie.
But the one that was a tie was turning left. The residents in that location want their perks, their privileges. But all in all, we had a accident recently, a few weeks ago, and that area definitely needs some TLC, especially with the crosswalk by Dalton. So Andrew did a great and outstanding job submitting a letter advocating for our cause, and I just want to thank him personally on the dais. Please remember, your voice matters, and as First Ward Council, I will always place the concerns of the residents in the borough of Roselle Park first. If you need to get in contact with me, please email me at gjohnson@rosellepark.net, or you can call me at 908-303-1519, and Mayor, that concludes my report.
Thank you, Councilman Johnson. Councilman Signorello?
Yes, good evening. I attended the Meet the Community event again another year, and it was just a little personal matter. I met the family, the young couple that bought my father's house, and it was just nice meeting. I met them once before. I'll tell you a quick brief. Happened to be going down the street as a habit, and I saw a dumpster in the driveway, and I pulled over. They were on the curb and said, "Folks, hello, how you doing? Who I am." I gave them my business card as a councilman at large. You got to be careful with the dumpsters, and she was right on, and she knew about getting a permit. So that was a brief moment, and then I met him at the Cassano Center. But it was nice to hear how many people have moved into Roselle Park. So if I do it, Ruben said 175 people moved into Roselle Park, and I'm not sure it's a calendar year or whatever, but I was just in awe. And when you said 36 in your ward, I was taken back by how many people have moved into, and I don't need to know right now, how many people have moved year to year, but that was amazing. So it was
That's about a year and a half.
Yeah.
Year and a half?
A little less than a year and a half.
So, good event, and I think they get to see some of the services. I attended the tree planting in front of the middle school. It's nice to see we're planting trees. I gave a little spiel about, look, folks, we've planted some trees in town. Mayor and council in the last couple of years has probably planted more trees in a long time. Look, we've had a lot of rain lately, but look, come through the summer, it doesn't hurt to, a couple of gallons of water from your home wouldn't hurt, because it's your investment, you as a taxpayer. So I've said this for a couple of years, put a little water in that tree come the summer or whatever, if we get to a dry period. And the mayor asked me to go to a Greater Chamber of Commerce meeting in Newark Airport last week, and he told me, well, he didn't tell me, but I found out the hard way. I had to say a couple words. So I spoke about I spoke highly of Roselle Park, and just let you know, my wife said I did a pretty good job. So whatever, I was filling in for the mayor. That's all it counts. But other than that, next month, 2 weeks from now, we're looking forward to we'll be having the theater community from the high school here. If you need to get in touch with me, it's at jsignorella@rosapark.net. Have a good evening.
I have nothing to report. Mayor Signorello at rosalpark.net if you guys need to reach out to me. I talked enough tonight. There are no items for closed session. Oh, public portion, thank you. May I have a motion to open public portion on any subject?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Would anybody like to come up and speak in public portion?
Take your time.
This one, please.
Thank you and good evening. Are we on?
Yep.
Hello? Hello?
You're on.
Good evening, Mayor and Council.
Name and address, please, just so everybody knows for the record.
Sorry?
Name and address for the record.
It's coming.
Oh, okay, got it. All right, fair enough.
My name is Lynn Augustine, and I represent the Roselle Park Historical Society and the museum at 9 West Grant Avenue. I was proudly elected as the corresponding secretary, and I'm here to correspond with you. I have my husband Gary, who is also your town historian. He's the president of the Historical Society. Linda McCready is our vice president. And Jim is one of our trustees. And I thank you for sticking it out with me. First, I'd like to address the museum hours. We are open every Saturday from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. We have 5 display cabinets with Roselle Park historical items that describe some of the history of our wonderful borough. We cordially invite each of you to come in and share some of your own memories of Roselle Park with us. We now have a website up and running. Our website went live at our last monthly membership meeting on the 17th of April. It's a work in progress, and we're working with our webmaster to continue to build the site. Our website is rphistory.net. Our email address is rphistory@rosellepark.net, so we kept it together. And hopefully, with Andrew's help, we'll be able to get it on the town's website. Since acquiring the museum in May of 1996, the Society's collection of borough documents, photographs, and memorabilia, as well as the membership, has expanded. Exhibiting our treasures has become a challenge due to the space limitations. We had asked the borough to help with acquiring a climate control storage unit to move our documents, etc., into said unit, and unfortunately, the town's budget could not approve it, and we thank you for your help with trying to get that accomplished. So we took matters into our own hands, and we're holding a fundraiser to pay for a minimum of 1.5 years of storage space. To date, we have raised $1,665 towards our goal of $5,000. Our unit is in Kenilworth, and we have started to move our items into it. We were offered space back in the summer at the youth center, and we are in the process of getting those boxes over to the storage unit. And we thank John Ranieri for allowing us to utilize the space over there. He's agreed to 6 months, and it's been about 8, so it's time to get it out. In 2026, our nation will celebrate its 250th birthday, which coincides with our town's 125th birthday. The Society, along with the borough, are looking forward to events marking these special celebrations. And in conclusion, I would like to announce our brand-new trifold. This brochure gives the history of how the Historical Society started, our mission statement, email address, website, along with a membership application. And Gary's going to pass one to each of you.
Thanks, Gary.
Thanks, Gary.
For those of you that are interested, our GoFundMe is on our website. So any help, little and small, big or little, will definitely help. And for that, I thank you for your time, and may the 4th be with you.
Nice.
We were too tired to see, like, we're like, what day is it?
On a personal note, we are the love story that she was talking about.
Very cute. Very nice.
They are. So Augustine.
Okay, anybody else want to come up and speak? I'm seeing no one. May I have a motion to close the public portion on any subject?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
There are no items for closed session. May I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Great meeting, everybody. I mean, honestly.